Namaste everyone. I am Prajakta Bharadwaj and I am appearing for yoga teacher and evaluator exam through Swasti Yoga Center. I welcome you all to the Global Yoga Festival initiative taken by Dr. Vikas Sothe and Dr. Shvetambari Sothe. We, the Swasti Yoga Center family, are celebrating the 75th year of Indian independence through this Global Yoga Festival. Swasti Yoga Center has launched this year-long celebration where 75 global yoga and spiritual leaders will give speeches and share their views on different topics. Swasti Yoga Center is also providing platform to young people and tomorrow's leaders to share their thoughts. This program will be taking place on every Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. IST. Today I welcome Mr. Ashish Kadam. He is the student of Swasti Yoga Center who has completed his Masters in Business Studies from Pune University and learning yoga as a technique for find the better solutions for the modern lifestyle problems. He is experimenting on the variety of human behavior and their pattern linked with yoga for study and implementation. Today, he will share his thoughts on how yoga is nourishment to life. I welcome Ashish ji and request him to take over the session.
Thanks a lot, Prajakta ji. I will start the session. Just a moment. So am I audible and visible to all of you? Yeah, thank you. So first, we'll start with Omkar Japa. Okay. So put your hands on your thighs. Inhale. Now we'll go for Patanjali Prayer. Join your palms. Yogina Chittasya Padena Vacha Malam Sariram Sajavaidyakena Yopakarotam Pravaram Muninam Patanjali Pranjali Ranatosi. Gently rub your palm. Put your palm on your eyes. Feel the warmness of your palm. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Experience the darkness. Slowly increase the gap between your fingers. Just raise pass through the fingers. Slowly put down your hands. Today we are going to discuss about yoga, the nourishment for our lives. As you all are aware, nourishment refers to feed, to protect, and to help grow better. So our yoga does the same thing for our lives. So we need to identify it, recognize it, and adopt this practice in our daily life, which motivate us to spread the awareness of yoga in the society. So by this way, we can take our society in the harmony. So we'll see how yoga will affect by this way. Let me start with an incident. A couple of days ago, I was just surfing through TV channels and came across one movie. One movie was there. That was a fantastic movie. It's appreciated by most of the viewers. That movie was Lage Raho Munna Bhai. I'm sure all of us have seen that movie. Did you enjoy that movie? Yes. So, what shows in that movie that our hero shows as a goon type, kind of hooligan, which by profession, their profession is to take a possession of people's property illegally and hand over it to that particular builder. Unexpectedly, that hero gets a chance to meet his love, or we can say that heroine. He meets her and they go further on that. On very fine day, there's a huge issue created in that heroine's life, that their property is taken away by that builder, and unknowingly the reason behind that is our hero's friend. So that's a very tragedical situation. It's a very complex situation for our hero, that he even either cannot reveal the truth to that heroine, that the reason behind that he is, or he cannot forcefully take back that property from that builder. In that case, there would be chances that he would have lose his love. So it's a complex situation. In our life also, sometimes we are facing such a situation there, where we are completely blank about the situation. We don't know the action plan for that. So sometimes we stuck there itself. So in that movie, what the hero does, means it's a very famous technique, I believe. That's he adopted that Gandhigiri practice, isn't it? So, what does that Gandhigiri refers to? The Gandhigiri refers to nothing but bring the change in yourself, right? Earlier, he's professionally completely different man, and when he adopts that Gandhigiri, he turns to be a different man. He started behaving normally, modestly, and he continued to walk on the path of suggested by Gandhiji. So ultimately, what was the ending in that? I believe there should not be a better ending that hero got in that movie, that he got that his love, he got that property back, and on top of that he succeeded to change the mind of that builder also. So this is the take, I believe, from that movie. When we face any kind of such a situation there, where we are completely find the dark there, we don't have a hope, a ray of hope about that, and we don't know the options, action plans for that. We need to start to look within ourselves. So even Mahatma Gandhi also said that if you want to change the world, bring that change first in yourself, then you will be able to see that change in the world. So I believe our yoga teaches us the same thing. I think the yoga's core concept is that it's a union to you, to the universe, atma to paramatma. So, in my opinion, what is this Paramatma or universe means? This universe refers to the objects, the things, the happenings, to the people surrounding us. This is nothing but our world. So the way we are looking to it, it's nothing but the way we have created, or the view we have created in ourselves. For example, we are happy inside, we will see everything happy surrounding us. At the same time, or vice versa, if we are having a pain or suffering inside, we'll see all the grief in the world or surrounding us. So it's all about the evolution of the self, how we relate ourselves to the world. And I believe if we see the world, the way we sing, it's nothing but it's our views. And ultimately I will share that how our views are affecting our health or totally our life. So it's a journey starts from the views. Our views then becomes the emotion, then our emotions becomes our thoughts, then our thoughts come to in our action, and then with that action, that's our lifestyle. So that's the reason views are very important. So how the views we are creating about the world, we need to be very mindful that the views we are developing towards the surroundings. So our yoga teaches us very beautifully that concepts, how we can change our views, how it will definitely help us to change our views, to create a better views towards the world. To create a better views in that sense that you need to be a better person, be a balanced person, then only you will able to realize the change in the world. I'm sure you know about the theory of number six. For example, if the number six we draw on the ground and we ask two people to stand each side of that six. So one people, if we ask what he's saying, he said, I'm seeing six. And the people, a person at the other side, he said, I'm looking this as a nine, isn't it? So is that wrong? No, both are them right on their place. Why? Because they are sharing what they are seeing. So it's their views. It's nothing right and wrong about the views, because it's our views, our own views. So that is the very important. When we are viewing anything, we are developing any point of view for anything, we should be alert at that time. Most of the time what happens that we are engaged in the practices, if we are not able to understand the situation surrounding us in the universe, we started fighting that we want to change the universe, we want to change the surrounding us if it's not happening according to us, right? And it's involved so much energy, it's swamped us, it's exhausted us, and ultimately we are not able to find the proper results for that. So again, it's the journey started to the disappointment. So that if we want to change, what is the very basic thing? Most of the problem will be solved, but only thing is that we need to view accordingly. For example, in one, I would say one example. I'm sure I'm able to, means I'm audible, right, to all of you? Yes, thanks. In one very hot summer afternoon, a kid comes to his father complaining that dad, why don't you cover this whole earth with the leather? So his dad, started laughing. Why are you saying like that? Why to cover all this earth with the leather? So this kid said, I just went outside with a barefoot, and sole of my feet get burned out due to the heat on the ground. So his father smiled and said, my dear kid, instead of that, why don't you use footwear? Isn't it? So many a times our journey is like that only, that we want to change the whole world. Instead, there are several alternates available that we can bring out simple change in our inner self that will save us from the tragedies in the future. So the main thing is that we need to concentrate on that. And here our beloved yoga is help us to induce those change, to identify those change, what we needs to bring in ourselves. So I believe that is the reason yoga is a nowadays very important scenario. Even I have personally experienced that. So if we think in the from the kind of nourishment, the yogas feed us very important things that we're gonna discuss. So as we discuss or as we agreed on that, the surroundings are nothing but our views. So if there are the sufferings, if there are the pains, if there are the griefs in the surroundings which we are feeling, what about those sufferings, or what are the reasons behind that? So I believe we need to take a responsibility of the world things happen in our world, because it's our world and the way we are seeing it, it's being created by that only. Let me share you another incident. The couple of months ago, I was in the hospital. I visited hospital for one of my friends work there. So I was just there and I saw one particular department was there, which bit crowded. So it's a very normal thing since it's a hospital and the several departments are there. There will be the patient. But most interesting thing was the patient which I was observing. It seems in very well health conditions, means it's not showing any cough, cold, fever like we were normally seeing, or any kind of pain like that. So it's just fueled my curiosity, and I just went ahead, and I found that that department was a lifestyle disorder. I believe sir and ma'am knows better from any one of us what are these lifestyle disorders. So is cardiovascular diseases like asthma, then cancer, liver, stroke, hypertension, all sort of these things are there, isn't it? So even that matters COPD, isn't it? So these things were there. I would like to request ma'am, ma'am, can you share, means focus on that? What are the causes for that? So, we will better understand, and I will continue on that. The causes of these lifestyle disorders, if you can share.
Yes, whenever we are discussing here about the lifestyle disorder, life and style, the words are mainly included here. So lifestyle includes, there are lot many things are there that you from your single, like a example of food. Last session I was discussed on the food. So starting, we will start from the food behavior, how we eat, in which form we eat, then the time, everything, then the sleeping habit, like
Exactly.
ahar, vihar, achar, vyavhar, everything is included here in lifestyle disorder. So affection or the dis means disorder, whenever we are lifestyle problems or disorder we are talking here. So disturbances in this form, all the levels day-to-day activity leads
Exactly.
to the kind of problem in our life, and that is called as lifestyle disorders.
Exactly. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for focusing that. Yes, as ma'am suggested that everything gets disturbed in our life. If it's anything, our daily routine life is get disturbed by anything, we will catch up with this lifestyle disorders. So same things was, means some posters were there and mention on that some of the causes of that. It's probably listed as lack of sleep, then lack of exercise, then stress, then over alcohol consumption, smoking, all sort of causes listed there. So I just want to ask to my dear yogis and yoginis, do you find anything the cause or this disorder is infectious? Like we have this COVID, do you think it's infectious? No, nothing is there, right? So all is started from within, that means within yourself. That if you are missing some actions, if you are performing some wrong actions from within yours inside, then you will catch up with these diseases, isn't it? So these lifestyle disorders, as we discuss, so I want to ask again, I want to take opinions from my dear yogis and yoginis. According to you, what are the sufferings in our life, means what causes the sufferings in our lives, and which take us to these lifestyle disorders? Can anyone share their opinion? What are the sufferings in our life?
I think these are our habits, like get up late and
Yeah,
wake up till late, and because of that
right.
getting up late, and all the time we all are running behind something, to go to
Exactly.
office, come back home, do our work, sleep, taking care of kids, and again busy in our work. So basically, yes, our lifestyle is really fast nowadays.
Exactly. As ma'am said, the lifestyle is getting fast. We need to run after several things. So it's nothing but just creating the stress in our life, isn't it? Even as ma'am said, as we discussed in the morning with ma'am, we are not able to enjoy the current moment, but we have, any unknown stress in corner in our mind, in our heart, for any unknown reason, that tomorrow what gonna happen, is anything happen, or is all the things will get particularly in particular manner. Such a kind of an unknown stress always there in our mind nowadays, because we are engaged in so many things, right? So I believe the sufferings, or if we can say in a broad way, sufferings in our life, the we have the sufferings, pain, or grief in our life. It's normally due to the, we can say, anger, jealousy, stress. We have already discussed. The main source, in my opinion, is expectations, isn't it? Everything is go fit and fine unless and until the expectations are involved there. For example, you have expectations from your child, from your parents, from your partner, from your colleague, from your boss, from everyone. We have expectations, since the human is a social animal. So we are living socially, and in social we have the expectations from every part of this life, or every part of the world. But what happens, for example, if your neighbor child scores a 60 or 70%, you don't bother that much. But if the same thing happens to your own child, yes, there will be the anger, there will be the disappointment, isn't it? Why? Because there are the expectations related to that. And if that expectation not get fulfilled, of course, there will be the disappointment as a human being, isn't it? So I think the main source of all the stress, all the anger, all the pain, it's starting from the expectations, right? Different sorts of expectations are there, which causes the different things. Means disappointment will be there if your child is not scored particularly. If particular person has not given you the respect which you want, then there will be the anger, isn't it? If your boss is not expected to give you the promotion of particular type, again there will be the stress that how gonna it works. So all sorts of these things comes from the expectation itself. Even we see those people can relate this motor relate this, who are in the relationships, that they have the thousands of expectations from their partners, and if it's not getting fulfilled, there will be the clashes for sure. So again, it's taking to the devastation. So I believe the main source of this is the expectations, and this comes along with the anger, stress, jealousy, all sort of things. And as we discussed, nothing is there infectious. It's all developed from ourselves only. Why? Because we are particular about the world, about our child's future, about our office work, whatever is that. But the same, we are not that much aware when it comes to our health. Nowadays, a recent past, there is some alertness or some mindfulness about the physical health, but still about the mental health, we are not up to the mark, isn't it? When it comes to the our mental health, we are totally neglecting it, because we are not in the position right now to accept that our minds also need nourishment. Like our body requires the nourishment, our mind is also required the nourishment. So this thought actually first we need to accept. Even Mahatma Gandhi is also once wrote that instead of using the body as a temple of God, we use it as a vehicle for indulgences, and not ashamed to run to a medical man for help in our efforts to increase them and abuse the earthly tabernacle. So at this moment, we should need this thought that while, for example, in the winter, if our skin get dry, we apply some lotion, whatever is that. Why? For the nourishment of the skin. So if we are particular about that, we need to be same, have a particularity about our mind or our mental health. So we'll see how the yoga will help this for this mental thing. I believe yoga is one of the best thing who is provides the attention for this mental health. And if we adopt the practices regularly, I believe that means that will for sure create a wonders. You can easily identify the difference, as we said before, after, like that. Even in practice, we know means we can normally we hear from so many sources. Okay, of course, yoga will do this, yoga will do that, yoga will helpful for that. But still, we are experiencing that pretty less awareness in the people about the yoga. Why, according to you, it happens? Can anyone share their views? Why still it's there? That we are pursuing yoga, so we know it's better, means we kind of expertise in that, we have realized. But what about the other people? Means why it's that much difficult for other people to understand that? Because sometimes we think that okay, it's a very fantastic thing, it's one of the best thing that we can understand, but why when it comes to the other people it's getting very difficult? So I believe, in my opinion, we normally says that yoga will do this, yoga will do that, but how the people can relate with that, isn't it? Unless and until they have the experience or they know they realize the impact, I believe it will be very difficult. It's like, if it's like tell someone that this is the good thing, but how we can convince that? We are just, I believe, we are informing or passing this information, but when it's come to the convince them, I think there is a lacuna. And I believe why, because we are not relating the our yoga terminology or yoga technique to their real life problems, isn't it? So once they understand when it's why it's exactly impact, so I believe there will be awareness in the yoga. So we will see in a brief how it's relates. So as we said, for all these lifestyle disorder, like ma'am said, what are the reasons are there? We have seen the most of the causes like anger, stress, disappointment, depression, and of course it's all due to the expectations. So our yoga teaches us about the expectation. What yoga teaches us about the expectation? If we know the source of all this trouble is expectation, then now we can go for the actions. How actions we should take on to eliminate these expectations. Does that mean that we should not have the expectations? No, it's not like that. Because without an expectation, there won't be any excitement in the life, isn't it? Even our yogi is also not advocating this, that don't have the expectation. Then how to control it? The question arises. How to control the expectations? I believe there is no harm in setting the expectation, because sometimes it's create a positive impact, that people sometimes works fantastic under pressure to achieve the targets, whatever all those things. It's why? Because somebody has set an expectation. So the main thing is that also, of course, we can set expectations, but what we need to control, that our reaction when it's not get fulfilled, right? Are you agree with me that there is no harm in setting expectation, but we need to control our reactions when it's not get fulfilled, right? Means if it's not get fulfilled, suddenly we goes to the means suddenly anger is there, and in the moment of heat some words get exchanged, and it's create total messed up, all things get messed up. So we need to have control on our reactions. So in that case, what our yoga suggests us, for example, as we discussed, that we have expectation from each and every person that we meet, that we knows everything. And if it's not get fulfilled, instead, while you going to give a reaction, first thing, just think once that, okay, that person has not fulfilled my expectations. So, but what about the expectation you have from yourself? Isn't it? Are you capable to fulfill all those expectations which you have set from yourself? Let me share an example. We have expectations sometimes from us that from tomorrow onwards, I will get up early. I will regularly go to the gym or go to the exercise. In the case of students, I will study hard or whatever the things are there. Even in the adults, I will do this, I will do this, I will do help to my wife in some home housework. All sorts of expectations we have from ourselves. So just think once, are we successful to fulfill all those expectations? If you get 100% yes, then you have, I believe, right to express yourself to the other person's unfulfilled expectations. But if you don't have answer no, then you need to think twice or thrice whether you are the right person to react on that or not. And I believe that control will save us from the tragedies. So this is being taught us by yoga. So yoga will helpful for this. Even for the expectations, as we can see, even the psychology is says that what is happening to us in the life is only 10%, and remaining 90% is what, how we react on it. So the anything happens, any incident happens, whether it's a good or bad, it's consume only 10%, but 90% is our reaction. So we need to be very wise while reacting on anything. That is the theory from the yoga. Even they said that anything happened, whether it's a good or bad, their effects last only for 2 hours. If any good thing is there or any bad thing is there, their effects last till 2 hours only. If it's go apart from that, it's nothing but your overthinking. So we need to refrain from this overthinking that will create trouble in our life, isn't it? So this is the part of the expectations. What our yoga suggests for the expectation, as we said, yoga also said that set your expectation, but don't indulgence with the reaction, right? The theory of detachment, karmanyeva adhikarastu, as we all know, yoga says that do your karma, but don't get attached with their results. Have the detachment. So we need to follow that. If we follow that, I believe we'll saved from so many sufferings in our lives. For this detachment, what sort of detachment should be there? For that, one very interesting story is there. Like we all know, the Karna from the Mahabharata, we know him as like great donor, isn't it? Karna is a great, one of the great donor, generous people, generous man. So once Arjuna was, a bit frustrated. Why the Karna is being called as this generous or the great donor? Because what the Karna donates, even Arjuna can be donated. Arjuna can donate. So Arjuna just went to Lord Krishna and complained that why Karna is being called as a generous donor or the great donor, because whatever he can donate, like golds, whatever there, I can also donate. So why still he is recommended for that? So Lord Krishna said, I will take a test for both of you. And they take Arjuna and Karna to the one particular place where two mountains were there, but those were not the regular mountains. Those the mountains which is full of the golds, ornaments, and all sorts of things. So first, Krishna asked Arjuna to Arjuna, this is your mountain. You need to donate that. So what Arjuna did, Arjuna went to the town or the where the peoples were there and called them to take down that, to take that gold from this mountain. And he stood there. So people come, praise the Arjuna, take out the ornaments, take out the gold, and all sorts of things were there. So Arjuna get delighted for that, that people are praising me. All sort of things were there. Then same thing Lord Krishna did for Karna also. He takes Karna to that mountain and said, this is your mountain of gold. You need to donate that. What Karna did? Karna called one people and said, you need to distribute all these things to those people. Okay. And he left from there. So then Krishna said to Arjuna, see the difference. When I ask you to donate that, you were there. So why? Because there is some desire you have to take a credit of that. People were praising you, you were get delighted for that, isn't it? So this is kind of attachment to your karma. The you karma, both of you have done your karma, that you donated that ornaments and all such a things are there. But you were there to take a credit of that karma. So this is nothing but the attachment. And same thing the Karna did, but he was not there because he don't want to that attachment of his karma. That's called the pure detachment, and that is the reason Karna is being called as the generous person or the great donor. So our yoga teaches us the detachment up to that level. We are not supposed to have detachment of that level, but at least if we can start the journey, our journey from that attachment we have to the detachment of the karna, that will be fruitful for ourselves, I believe. So this is the another great thing teaches us, means teach us to yoga. Now, as we seen, one of the another suffering is there, that the anger, because with the anger we develop the stress. I believe even sir and madam also knows that the if the anger lasts there, it's affecting our body also. Some people are experiencing the backache if the anger lasts there in their mind. So many physical causes, means physical effects are there if anger stills there. So for this anger creates a hatred among the people, isn't it? So our yoga, what teaches our yoga regarding this anger? We know that there are the three techniques described by the yoga. The three bhavnas are there, like a Pratipaksha Bhavna, Anitya Bhavna, and Sakshi Bhavna. All you must aware about that. So what our yoga teaches regarding this, if anger is developed for a particular person in your mind, so don't nourish that anger. Okay, don't get drawn with that anger. Instead of that, just think about these three bhavnas. The first is Pratipaksha Bhavna. What does that means? If any negative feeling or like anger develops in your mind, you need to divert your mind for the positive things. Like if it's anger is being developed, you need to develop the love in your mind. They are also saying that initially it's pretty difficult, but by practice also you can get that. For example, if you are being hurt by particular person, just start thinking, instead of developing a anger, just start thinking about the positive things that person has done to you in the past. How many times you smiled because of that person. And this is a very effective technique. Why? Because anger is not that much harmful, but the reaction we are giving in the moment of it, that is creating more damage. So if we think like that way, we will save from reacting immediately, and of course we'll save from the future tragedies. So again, this Pratipaksha Bhavna yoga teaches us. Second thing, Anitya Bhavna. Anitya Bhavna means what? That you can consider this everything on this earth is temporary. Nothing gonna be permanent there, isn't it? So if that particular person made you some losses, means you being hurted emotionally for that. So if you think all such a things, even that person itself is not permanent. So how the things created by that person gonna permanent? So if you think by that way, again there will be the relief from this anger. So again, this is the very effective technique, that Anitya Bhavna. If we can think that way, of course, we will have better control in our reaction. The third and very important thing, that is Sakshi Bhavna. That Sakshi Bhavna, what it advocates? Sakshi Bhavna advocates that you need to develop the ability in yourself that whatever the things are going on, you need to watch them as a third person. Instead of getting involved in that, just watch them as a third person and then decide your reaction. For example, if particular person has said something about you, instead of running to rush to go the reaction on that, we need to sit back and see the things logically. Why it's being said to me? why particular person said to me, is he in a good condition, is he knows me completely, because so many times people are judging means each other. It says that human is advocate for self mistake and judge for others mistakes. So we need to think that way, whether that person knows us completely, is he completely in our shoes to judge us. That's the reason we need to think this clearly as a third person. As we seen, if you can affected by the things or the by the sayings of other person, you can be controlled by anyone. If you can get controlled by the thoughts of any or the dialogues of any other person, you are a very simple person and you can be controlled from anyone. So this type of person we should not be there. So this sakshi bhavna is equally important for to deal with the anger. So this is the another technique yoga teaches us. Next thing is that let me share the very beautiful thing described by Maharshi Patanjali. Maharshi Patanjali teaches us how these things, liking and dislikings, like anger or the attachments, are affecting our physical health. That's the very important thing. Like so many people think, okay, this is the mental things. What about the physical things? How it can be incorporated in the physical things? So Maharshi Patanjali described this very beautifully. What Maharshi Patanjali says, Sukhashayi raga and Dukhashayi dvesha. Sukhashayi raga means attachment which dwells on a pleasure, isn't it? We normally get attached to the pleasant things. Whenever there is a pleasure, we are normally get attached with that. And at the same time, aversion which dwells on pain. When there is a suffering, there are the pains, we are refraining from that, isn't it? So it's kind of developing the likings and dislikings. The good things we normally likes and the bad things we created the dislikes. So Maharshi Patanjali said that if we can balance this liking and dislikings, we will be in a particularly good condition. Now he describes the again same thing, that how this affects our body. Like this, what happens is that liking and disliking started governing our actions. Like we said, we normally tend to the pleasure things, liking things, and we are getting away from the disliking things. So it started governing our action. Then what happens due to that? The prana, which flows from the nadi, getting disturbed, getting violent functions, fluctuations. This their flow is opposite direction, it's not in the harmony. Due to that, what happens that due to such a flow of prana, our nadi get destabilized. It's get also disturbed. So these violent fluctuations in the prana and destabilized nadi results in the ajirnatvam, what the food we are intaking, it's not properly get properly digested. So this non properly digested food gets settled down in our body, and due to that, if this action continues, the vyadhis are created. First it will create the psychomatic alignments, and then it will results in vyadhi. And vyadhis are nothing but the lifestyle disorder which we have seen. It's ultimately contributed in that. So again, it's beautifully described by the Maharshi Patanjali. Like we need to be balanced, we need to be more what we can say convergent to the likings and dislikings. And for that, how our yoga helps us? Again, because we are seeing for every problem, we are seeing this at the same time solution from the yoga also. So how our yoga helps in that to become a balance? We are doing asanas, right? In Hatha Yoga, Hatha itself, the balance, her and her, as we know. So in balance asanas, what we are doing, in our asanas, we are stretching our body. At the same time, we are concentrating on our breathing. So this is nothing but the balancing technique. So once we develop, once we habitual with the asanas, ultimately we will be more balanced in this liking and dislikings, and for sure we'll get refrained from these vyadhis. So this is the another very nice techniques of this given by the yoga. Even I just wanted to check with my yogis. Can we have a sound sleep when we are super excited? No, there will be the difficulty if we are super excited. Means we are, all might have observed that. Even if we are in a pain, whether it's a physical or mental, are we able to sleep normally? Again, the answer will be no. This Maharishi Patanjali focuses on that. If you are extreme at any side, extreme excited or any extreme pain, these health problems will certainly there, because this is the connection, the prana and nadi connection directly with our minds as well as in with our body. So that is the reason Maharishi Patanjali advocating to be the balance. So again, this about the anger. Now again, from where the sufferings are developed in our life, sufferings are also developed from the senses. Okay, the senses we have, sufferings are developed. Lord Krishna, describes very beautifully in chapter 2 of Gita, how Lord Krishna develops that, describes that. See, constant thinking, if we constantly thinking about a particular object, for example, particular object, particular person, like money, power, or particular reputation, particular designation, we are, if we continuously thinking about that, we tends to materialistic things like that, we are becoming attached to that. Okay, I believe again, the people who are in relationship might have relate with that. If we constantly thinking about the particular person, we are getting attached to it, isn't it? This attachment will result in the desire of what we say, possession. We have a desire to possess that person or possess that thing. If we have constantly attached with that, then what happens, if we by any chance if we can't possess it, it leads to the disappointment. Why? Because we couldn't get that. Then these appointments leads to the anger. If it's continuously we get disappointed there, it will creates anger in ourselves. This anger, what happens? This anger creates the confusion in our memory. Sometimes we face memory loss, all such a things are there. So if our memory get confused, what happens? That we are not able to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. So it's also affect the capability of intelligence, that we can discriminate the things right or wrong. And ultimately there is devastation, isn't it? In our life also, sometimes we get surprised that the deed of a particular person, normally we are not expecting that such a person supposed to do that, but in practice he has done that. The reason behind that is this, that it start from the sensing object and it's end with the devastation. So how to overcome it for the senses? As we all know, Maharshi Patanjali is also suggested that practice of pratyahara. That pratyahara, nothing but the removing the sense, right, and concentrate in yourself. So if we practice these things, we can certainly break this chain which leads us to the devastation. So this is another very useful technique suggested by the yoga, which we need to apply. One more and a most important thing which yoga has given us, that pranayama, isn't it? As we see, pranayama means what? The breathing technique. I would like to share, and in my opinion, most of the problems right now in current situation we are facing, it's due to the imbalance in our prana, imbalance in our breathing. Prana means we normally said as a breathing, isn't it? What happens actually right now in current scenario, in this era of, we can say, WhatsApp status, then your YouTube videos, what is the other than Instagram reels, TikToks, we are getting habitual to count the duration in the seconds, isn't it? That 30-second status or 1 minute reels, whatever is that. So what happens is that we have started to count our life in the seconds instead of breaths. The God has given us the life by counting the breaths and not the seconds, but we have converted into counting the seconds. So normally what happens, that for anything we are replying in the fraction of seconds. We normally supposed to react in the count of breath, but we are giving the reaction in the movement of seconds. Let's say this is a very common example. All you are traveling with the vehicles on the road, and on that particular signal, if it turns red, all we are stopped there, isn't it? So what happens that the moment signal turns green, okay, the vehicles or the drivers who are in the third or fourth row, the moment is turned green, started honking, isn't it? They started honking since as soon as the signal turns green. Now it's a common sense. Even the person who is in the first row also knows that when it turns green, they need to go. Still, on the moment second, because even we also knows that it will get time to road get vacant, since we have in the fourth row and all these three rows get to be go ahead. But still we are started honking. Why? Because we are reacting within a second, isn't it? So this is the pattern develop, and this create a most chaos. Let me share you the another example. In my office, there are 40 people working under me, and we used to have a complaint, sir, that my system is pretty slow. My computer is pretty slow. It's not working properly. So I once just checked. I just went along with that boy and I said, just show me what happens. So actually what was happening there, for example, if he opens the browser, okay, he double click, normally we do double click. If he opens the browser, there is a circle rotating, isn't it? So what is indication that process is going on? But since we are such impatient there, that boy thinks that okay, system is not going to reply, and he started clicking 3 to 4 times again on the same browser. Since it's a machine, what it takes the order sequentially. So after 1 or 2 minutes duration, we finding 4 browsers open there. And he does the same thing for each and every application, that he just double click and he want a reply within fraction of seconds, that system or that software is supposed to be open there. And if it's not open, okay, I will go to the another thing. And such a practices are going on there, and finally they come with the solution that system is useless. So actually the thing is from their side, but these are the examples that we are such impatient while reacting, that we are started reacting in the seconds. The same things while we are overtaking while driving, we are thinking in a fraction of seconds and we overtake. So sometimes it's okay, it's a successful, but otherwise it's a hard situation. So these things normally actually what happens that we are controlling our breath according to the situations or the incidents going outside us. I mean, suppose if we listen, if we hear a good news, all of a sudden our breathing pattern gets changed. And at the same time, if we hear some bad news or some bad happenings are there, again our breathing patterns gets changed. So we are doing actually the wrong way or opposite way. We need to react as per our breath and not adjust our breath as per our reaction. There is a very beautiful concept in our yoga, that is belly breathing. I believe all of you knows that belly breathing, that we need to, instead of taking a breath through the nose or through the chest, we need to experience this breath from our stomach. Why? Because it helps to balance this breath, isn't it? If we start belly breathing, I'm sure you will find such a calmness in your day-to-day life. So these are the techniques given by the yoga. Even Maharshi Patanjali again said in their prasadhana technique, he describes that prachardhana vidarnabhyam va pranasya. What does that mean? It means mind become prasadhana. Prasadhana means the holy place. Mind become prasadhana when there is a retention after the forceful exhalation of breath, isn't it? Even I believe we can also experience right now that normally we say is a sigh of relief, that we suppose we have done some big thing, normally our breathing like this you can experience right now also, you will find pretty peace there. If you exhale forcefully and then retain that breath, you will find some peace there. So these are the very small techniques discussed by the yoga. but we are failing to adopt this in our day-to-day life, which creates a chaos in our life. So again, this technique is also given by the yoga. Even as discussed with ma'am, taught us regarding this breath ratio. Yoga advocates the breath ratio 2:1. When we inhale for 2 seconds, we need to exhale for 4 seconds, isn't it? This is the very basic techniques in yoga. How this technique helps us? This techniques develop us the let go attitude. Again, it will helpful in attachment scenario. If we have our exhale ratio more than our inhale ratio, ultimately it develops the let go attitude. We are not relate ourselves to each and everything that happens, which is normally not necessary, but normally we are relating ourselves to any incident, and we go with that flow. Ultimately at the destination nothing was there. So if we develop that practice of the just exhalation of 2:1, we there will be this will be more beneficial for us to deal with these day-to-day issues. So again, I'm not saying means yoga is one of the best technique. Yoga is work for the preventive as well as the corrective actions. If you still have, as we seen, for these lifestyle disorders, there was one of the causes lack of sleep. So even if you have facing such a difficulty of sleep disorder, most probably we are saying this sleep disorder. So we have seen that in kind of excitement or in kind of acute pain, we are not able to sleep properly. But some people having this sleep disorder in normal situation also. So for that also yoga have the situation like yoga nidra. It's a very beautiful technique. I have personally experienced that. There are so many videos are available. If we have that time and interest, even everyone can find that yoga nidra, and it certainly help them for the particularly about their sleep disorder. So by this way I believe yoga helps us in each and every problem of our life, isn't it? So as we said, the nourishment refers to the feed to grow, uh, feed to protect and to help grow. So what does yoga feeds? Yoga has given us the karma siddhant, this pratipaksha bhavna, sakshi bhavna, anitya bhavna, pratyahara, pranayam technique. These all the feeds from the yoga. And what it's protect us from? The yoga protect us from this hatred, anger, stress, disappointment, devastation, and all this causing the lifestyle disorders. And ultimately it helps us to grow us better. Why? Because it's made us the a balanced personality, and such a balanced personality is very useful for the society, to bring the harmony, to bring the peace in the society, and ultimately it will leads towards the world, which is we said vasudhaiva kutumbakam, to each it creates the whole family with the peace. So I believe such a way yoga is very helpful, and we need to adopt these practices. If we not adopt fully, if we can adopt some practices according to our sufferings, ultimately it will create what we can say the game changer for our life. So actually that was all from me. Since I said to ma'am, it was my very first experience about this seminar, and I'm really thankful that they have given me the opportunity to express my views. If you have any queries or if you want to ask any question, I would request, please.
I request to my fellow participants, if they want to share any views or if they have some queries, please unmute yourself and ask and share your views. So, thank you so much, Ashish ji, for such a wonderful information with giving lots of example of day-to-day life.
Thank you, ma'am.
I now request Dr. Vikas Sothe to felicitate Ashish ji with the certificate.
Absolutely. I would request everyone to unmute and give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
And it's really a delight to see the kind of nourishment which is happening.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir.
Every person, every member of the Swasti family. And this is very essential. many a times the message of yoga is only limited to the yoga practices,
Right.
losing your weight, doing some kind of postures. But it's very delightful to see this kind of progress that you have done, the way you have absorbed these things, and it is not only helping you, but I hope soon, along with giving your IT services, you will also give the packages of yoga to your clients who are a bit of impatient.
Sure, sure, sir.
This complementary yoga and IT complementary thing will definitely help in doing the value addition.
Exactly.
Sure. So that was really delightful. And congratulations once again, Ashish ji. You have a very keen observation. And that's what yoga talks about, mindfulness. Yoga talks about self-realization. And whatever you were giving, the instances which happen in everybody's life, but in this hustle and bustle, we are not able to spare time to observe these subtle aspects about our life. So this is really worthy of praise. Congratulations once again.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, hearty congratulations, Ashish ji.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Wonderfully said session. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks a lot, ma'am, for providing me that opportunity.
Thank you so much, Vikas sir and Shwetambari ma'am. Thank you so much, Ashish ji. And tomorrow we will have opportunity to attend the session of Yogi Bhaskar now, also known as Yogi Andreji. I request you to all to be present at the same time, that is 6 p.m. IST tomorrow. Now we will end this session with the Shanti Mantra. I request you to all to join your palms, keep your spine tall and close your eyes. Deep inhalation, slow exhalation. Take one inhale. Oh. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karvavahai, tejas vinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Deep inhalation, slow exhalation. Gently rub your palms on each other. Make them warm enough. Keep them on your eyes first. Slowly and steadily open your eyes. Feel the warmth of your hands on your face. See the light through the darkness. Slowly and steadily spread your fingers and join your palms at the center of your chest again. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you.